Hello and welcome to all. Today our first question is, which of the following reflects the most appropriate relationship between law and liberty? Our options are: A. If there are more laws, there is less liberty. B. If there are no laws, there is no liberty. C. If there is liberty, laws have to be made by people. D. If laws are changed too often, liberty is in danger. The question was asked in 2018. It is about relationship between law and liberty. At this point, it goes without saying in every question that you are supposed to pause the video, read the question again very carefully, recall your concept, think over it, and mark the answer somewhere. Then you can move towards answer and analysis part. The correct answer is B. If there is no law, if there are no laws, there is no liberty. Moving to the analysis and explanation part, we get to learn that the question has been framed from Indian Polity and the topic is relationship between law and liberty. We will learn about the concept of law. What is law? Law is a set of rules framed by some social or governmental or institutions. Why? To regulate behavior of people. Laws tell people what to do and what not to do. For example, Civil Rights Act of 1955 tells people that untouchability is prohibited. Right? RTI Act, Right to Information Act 2005 tells people that they can seek any information from the government agencies which is available in public domain. Likewise, the concept of liberty. What is liberty? Liberty is a state of being free within society from oppressive restrictions imposed by authority on one's way of life, behavior, or political views. It is provided in Indian Constitution in Article 19. Article 19 provides various kinds of liberty like freedom of movement, residence, profession, press, etc. Article 21 talks about right to life and personal liberty. Similarly, preamble also contains ideas related to liberty. Now coming to the relationship part. What is the relationship between these two? A liberty cannot be, unlimited. It has to be restricted. For that, even in Article 19, you will see there are some reasonable restrictions. A man lives in society. In society, we have various types of ideologies, various kinds of people. So, in case there is absence of laws, there is absence of any restraints, then the philosophy of might is right will prevail. What is might is right? Might is right means the social system will run as per the whims and fancies of those in power, those who are strong and powerful, and the weak, poor will be suppressed and oppressed. In such situation, the liberty of those will be curbed. So there has to be some laws that can protect the liberty of everyone from everyone. In such situation, liberty lies in obedience to law. For example, Article 19 of Indian Constitution provides liberty. Right? It is about freedom. It provides freedom of movement, freedom of residence, freedom of profession, freedom of speech and expression. Yet, it imposes some reasonable restrictions in the interest of public order, sovereignty, integrity, and unity of India. And there are some other situations when constitution imposes reasonable restrictions on the liberty of a person so that liberty of all can be protected. Moving to our second question, which of the following are regarded as the main features of the rule of law? Number 1, limitations of powers. Number 2, equality before law. Number 3, people's responsibility to the government. Number 4, liberty and civil rights. Our options are 1 and 3, 2 and 4, 1 to 4, 1 to 3, 4. Question was asked in 2018. It is about the concept of rule of law and it is asking its key features. So the correct answer is C, 1, 2 and 4. In explanation part, we get to learn that one of the advantages of doing PYQ analysis is that if you had done PYQ analysis of previous years in 2017, for example, there was question on fundamental rights, the idea of equality was asked, and there were questions on preamble, then you would have learnt that the idea of equality contains rule of law. Even preamble reflects the spirit of rule of law. So that's why it becomes important to do PYQ analysis. Regarding the concept of rule of law, we get to learn 3-4 things. Number 1, what is rule of law? It means every citizen is subject to law and no one is above it. The origin of this concept lies in English Constitution, where Justice Edward Coke gave the concept and later A.V. Dicey popularized it and modified it to some extent. Some of the key features of rule of law are: number 1, supremacy of law. That is, law is supreme over all people. Law has to be followed. All are under the law. And that's why there are limitations of power. What does it mean? Limitations of power means the authority cannot act in an arbitrary manner. It has to follow rule of law and it has to act in accordance of the law. It cannot punish anyone without the authority of the law. Then equality before law. Everyone is equal before the law. No one is above it, no one is below it. Liberty and civil rights. Rule of law lies in providing liberty and civil rights. In the context of Indian Constitution, preamble contains the idea of rule of law. Fundamental rights, Article 14 related to equality is based on the spirit of rule of law, right? Supremacy of Indian Constitution reflects the spirit of rule of law, and doctrine of judicial review also reflects it. Moving to our next question, consider the following statements. Number 1, Aadhaar can be used as a proof of citizenship or domicile. Number 2, once issued, Aadhaar card can or omitted by the issuing authority. Our options are only 1, only 2, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. Question was asked in 2018. It is about Aadhaar card. Our correct answer is D, neither 1 nor 2. In explanation part, we get to learn that what is Aadhaar. Aadhaar is a 12-digit unique identity number that can be obtained voluntarily. The point voluntarily has to be noted by all residents of India based on their biometrics. What are biometrics? These are our fingertips, 2 iris prints in our eyes, and photo of face, and demographic data. Demographic data means place of birth and all, place of residence, address your. It is issued by UIDAI, Unique Identification Authority of India. It is a statutory body set up in 2016 under Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. It acts as per the provisions of Aadhaar Act 2016. What does it say? Aadhaar Act. According to Aadhaar Act, the Aadhaar number or the authentication thereof shall not by itself confer any right of or be proof of citizenship or domicile in respect of an Aadhaar number holder. It means it cannot be a proof of citizenship. So our first statement was wrong. It also states that Aadhaar number may be omitted permanently or deactivated temporarily by the UIDAI. It is the issuing authority. It also manages the data of Aadhaar. So our statement 2 is also wrong. Moving to our next question. Which article of the Constitution of India safeguards one's right to marry the person of one's choice? Our options are Article 19, 21, 25, 29. The question was asked in 2019. It is about right to marry. And the correct answer is B. In analysis part, we get to learn that the main topic is fundamental rights, from which question has been framed, and some other auxiliary topics are in fundamental rights itself. Those are Article 19, 25 and 29. The benefit of PYQ analysis is that if you have knowledge of Article 21, the question was asked in 2018 related to right to privacy. If you would have done the analysis back then you would have knowledge of complete knowledge of Article 21. First, we will learn about fundamental rights. What are these rights? These are civil political rights contained in Part 3 of Indian Constitution from Article number 12 to 35. Regarding Article 21, this comes under right to freedom from Article number 19 to 22. Article 21 is about right to life and personal liberty. What does it say? It says that no person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to a procedure established by law. It also includes right to marry, right to privacy, right to clean environment, right to shelter, right to health. Right to marry is a part of fundamental right. It was declared by Supreme Court in Lata Singh versus State of UP case 2006. This is an important point to be noted. Regarding Article 19, we get to learn that it protects 6 rights related to freedom of speech and expression, freedom of assembly, freedom of association, freedom of movement, freedom of residence, and freedom of profession. There are some reasonable restrictions also on grounds of sovereignty, unity, integrity, public order, etc., which we need to study. Article 25 talks about freedom of religion. It provides freedom of concise and free profession, practice, and propagation of religion. Further, Article 29 is related to cultural and educational rights. It protects the interests of minorities. What kind of minorities? Cultural and linguistic minorities. It protects their distinct language, script, and culture, and no discrimination is allowed regarding their admission in educational institutions. Moving to our next question. Question number 5. In the context of polity, which one of the following would you accept as the most appropriate definition of liberty? Our options are A. Protection against the tyranny of political rulers, B. Absence of restraint, C. Opportunity to do whatever one likes, D. Opportunity to develop oneself fully. The question was asked in 2019. In first question also we saw the relationship between law and liberty. It was 1 year earlier. If we would have done the R&D there, then we were being in a position to tackle this question very in a decent way. So the correct answer is D. In analysis part, we get to learn that the main topic is about concept of liberty. In PYQs, it was asked again in 2018. Regarding the concept of liberty, we need to learn that it is a state of being free. Free from what? From oppressive restrictions imposed by authority on one's way of life, behavior, or political views. It refers to what? Absence of restraints on the activities of individuals, and at the same time providing opportunities for the development of individual personalities. In Indian Constitution, liberty is provided, but it is qualified in nature and not absolute. What does qualified means? There are some reasonable restrictions on the liberty of individuals. For example, Indian preamble provides liberty of faith, thought, expression, belief, and Article 19 talks about freedom of expression, freedom of speech and expression, freedom of movement, freedom of residence, freedom of profession, etc. There are some reasonable restrictions also in the interest of public order, morality, sovereignty, integrity, and unity of India. That is all. Thank you very much.